Combing your hair with your hand gives me feelings I don't understand. Combing your hair with your hand gives me feelings I don't understand. You do this thing when you're biting your lip, it's driving me crazy just looking at it. You know me better than I know myself. I don't wanna live in a world without you. You do this thing when you're biting your lip, it's driving me crazy just looking at it. You know me better than I know myself. I don't wanna live in a world without you. Or without you. Driving me crazy just looking at it. Or without you. Driving me crazy just looking at it. You do this thing when you're biting your lip. Or without you. Driving me crazy just looking at it. Driving me crazy just looking at it. Combing your hair with your hand gives me feelings I don't understand. Combing your hair with your hand gives me feelings I don't understand. You do this thing when you're biting your lip, it's driving me crazy just looking at it. You know me better than I know myself. I don't wanna live in a world without you. You do this thing when I'm talking to you, like everything freezes and it's just us two. You do this thing when I'm talking to you, like everything freezes and it's just us two. You do this thing when you're biting your lip, it's driving me crazy just looking at it. You know me better than I know myself. I don't wanna live in a world without you. Give it to me like. Or without you. Driving me crazy just looking at it. Or without you. Driving me crazy just looking at it. You do this thing when you're biting your lip. Or without you. Driving me crazy just looking at it. Driving me crazy just looking at it. You do this thing when you're biting your lip. It's driving me crazy just looking at it. You know me better than I know myself. I don't wanna live in a world without you.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully your weekend was good. Starting off Monday with another Blender session and possibly poking on over to the Warframe. But today, just trying to keep up with the run of Blender on Mondays, at least for a little bit, and then Warframe on the Wednesdays and Fridays thing. Though, might stream tomorrow night to roll over into the New Year sort of thing, you know? Not 100% sure on that just yet, because I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be streaming this year too, for some reason. But yeah. Anyway, gonna get some music kicking here and poke around some. I've got a little bit of an idea of what I'd like to do today, but not something I'm extremely experienced in. So sort of getting into newer water stuff with me on this one. Last couple ones have been me like messing around with stuff that I already knew how to do and stuff. So this will be a bit of a new experience. So I've watched a few videos on how to do this already, but I haven't tried it just yet. There. Then you go to sculpt mode. Add. Boop. That's extremely small hair. No. Radius, strength, count of 1. I think this adds surface deform to it, okay. Yeah, yeah, then that'll end up doing that. Okay. I get that now. There's that. Now goes to that. This is new, again, this is new water for me, so I'm still trying to get the hang of it. So right now, technically, this does have the hair on it. If I remember right, going to asset browser. Hair. Surface. Object, okay. One that sort of like pinched them together, but I can't remember which one that is. Okay, so now it's actually doing it then. Is this only seen in... No, that's not how it's usually done. Hey, you knew. Alright, so that works good. Oh, come on. So he's doing this different. That's the way that I knew before. Maybe I'll just stick with what I know. Plane. Turns into that. Hair in there. Which, of course, we don't need that much hair, because that would end up slowing stuff down drastically. Let's follow along just sort of step by step here. Alright, rotates it. Alright, so he makes one dead center then. So he drops it down to 1. Rotate X, not. Damn it. Rotate X 180. Particle edit. That's more like it. Particle. Add all 5 keys, okay. Five keys already. Bring it down to dead center from the looks of it. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do do do. Alright, keys are how many verts are in it. Children, interpolate. He is in render view. Let me just get some lighting in here. Alright, so particle edit ends up leaving it just that. He is in particle edit and at, but it's actually showing the children over in edit mode. Object mode they actually show. These are little things with the watching these tutorials that you gotta poke around and see what the hell might be what cause, well, why you see something different than the video you're watching. That's the overlay gizmo. The strips, yeah. Hmm. On his hair. Performance, but there's no hair underneath of it. Though curves does give the same thing with the strands and strips. And additional subdiv, yeah. Wonder why there's a difference. 2-year-old video though, so it could be slight changes in Blender over the time. He has a key light in there, he's got reference, rem lights, plane, and particle edit mode. And it's in rendered view. Hair shape. Alright, so he goes back to particles, hits the hair shape. See, this actively has to go back to object mode. Yeah, control tab, that's right. I always forget to use the hotkey for that. Hair shape. I think he takes diameter scale to 0.8. Alright, a bit thicker. Of course, we want the strands at the end to get thinner. I'm keeping this down here because I think he eventually goes to using the geo nodes on the stuff, but can't remember. I've watched this through once just to make sure. Sort of decent-ish, at least, to watch. Why? Where? Elephant. Alright, so what he just showed was we move like this. Yeah, all changed in there. This game I just might find here it waves. Elephant, somebody be away. Oh, where's the one? Don't need those up. Don't need that up on this one. Way to pin this. Split. Because I don't want to switch between the two on both of them, obviously. I don't want to be in that. No. I think it's preferences. Option. Oh, yes. That's back in 2020, the latest one. Hmm. 2020. Might not be something I can do. I is looking at object mode now. Up that up to 1K. So the clumping makes a bit of a hill. Oh, like a breeze, country road. To a place I belong. Take me home to the place I belong. And yeah. Do 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 do. Country roads take me home. Place I belong. Nice. Oh, even. Alright, so it's roughly thereabouts. Do 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 do. Sleepy deepy deepy deep. A bit larger. You can't hide. I'm gonna make you mine. My head off my heart and my mind. Hanging off my heart and my mind. You can run, but you can't hide. Stuff still, yeah. I'll take it back to that. Alright, that's what I was looking for. Do. What was me? I'm so low. B-spline. Oh, render did need that then, so B-spline. Do you take it to? B-spline's at 3, okay. Goes back down to the curve. Do 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 do. I hate when things jump. We went to edit mode, scaled on X. And then things seem to sorta, yeah, detach right there. It's just a box, select on that. Options, viewport display of 5. There we go. He was displaying the children, so it actually worked. So this was at 2 before. 5 gets it back out there. Hey Kuko, welcome to the stream. Hope you're having a good day. Hope your weekend went good. da 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 da. There's the preserved strand. Yeah, okay, that's right. I should be able to. Interesting. Just playing around, see what all there be. Well, at least the weekend was decent. This week has already started off with like a I'm burnout sort of feeling. But gotta work and gotta do stuff that needs to be done, and I want to keep on schedule with streaming and sort of keeping things methodical with Monday Blender at least for a bit, and then jump over to Warframe on Wednesdays and Fridays. It's something that I personally want to do and continue doing throughout the years here, hopefully. Actually, I think the only thing that probably make me stream more often is if I somehow blew up, and then I'll blow up with numbers, not just spontaneously combusted, sort of blew up. And then I probably want to stream more then, because, you know, hopefully at that point potentially be a way to pay bills instead of just something I do for shits and giggles. Which I still do things for shits and giggles anyway, but then it'd be less work, more. This is helping me cover my bills and getting by in life instead of I've got to make sure to definitely do my regular 9-to-5 job sort of crap. Then streamings afterwards if I'm not too burnt out. Of course, being burnt out ends up affecting the quality of what you can produce. Especially if you don't put on a happy-go-lucky persona. 100% real, 100% raw here. Except for the chicken. We cooked the chicken. Get in the pot, Coco. But right now I'm following a bit of a tutorial for learning a bit more using the hair particles in Blender. This is part of what I'm trying to do moving forward with my models. I need to remake the hug and the head pat and the spank command. The last one's not used as often, but hug is a nice one, and where's the other one? Head pet. I wish I could open this as a separate window, and now I'd lose chat for a little bit if I want to work on that right now. No. Where's my pen? Pen. physically write this shit down so it's less likely I forget. Alright, so that's there, so it's less likely I forget after stream. Okay, so it goes into through that adds a what? Hair info. Okay. This first thing he's going with is that's cap lock, not the shift. Alright, switch over to shader editor. What is he? Object mode. Alright. New shader. Oh, he had an input. The object info? Hair info. Alright, this is probably definitely changed. This. Yeah, he is in the objects, material. Yeah, he just searches hair. That changed something else in more recent version. Under hair info node. Yeah, this was made in 3.0 and 3.2. This becomes the curve info node. Curve info node, yeah. This is pretty much the same thing. Strand, intercept, length, thickness, tangent, normal, random. And is the exact same thing. Okay, so the hair info node has been changed to just the curve info node. And the color ramp, intercept to the factor, color ramp, okay. Reverter, color ramp, drop, intercept to factor, color to surface. I'm not gonna use the same colors as him. Darker green. That one. Thing has a midpoint that's like that. Actually, this was that. In the middle, that's lighter. All right. Noise. Extra coordinates, okay. UV to the vector. Noise. Put texture coordinates. UV to vector. What are we getting out of this? Okay. Color. All right. So that goes. Alrighty. Sort of chunky, but I'm sure that gets figured out here. Color ramp, drop it down. Clamp it in, okay. Let's move this over some. Clamped in. Now he takes that down to a slightly grayer color. So this a bit closer to that, and that becomes slightly darker. Fucking jump, but I see where the change was. Details. Get up to here, making it so the tips fade off some. Oh, I left that. Yeah. Sorry, I'm more watching a tutorial. I like to try to keep to the same settings that they have everything else set to. Current BSD with a mix shader. All right. Oh no, that's in the second slot. Factors the intercept. Okay, so that's 2. Yeah, doing the slight transparency at the end. Settings. Alpha. I don't think that needs to be done in this stuff anymore, but let's double check. Bump only, sphere. Alright, so this is where a lot of people get hiccups when they're following these in newer versions of Blender. So the tutorial I'm watching is from 3.0. Already ran to one thing with the curves info. Guy puts in back in 3.0 is just hair curve, hair info. Now it's just curves info. Then next thing that we're running into here is he goes into the material settings and sets it so that the opacity, I think it is, blend mode. The blend mode is alpha hashed. Now you don't really have to do that anymore, it seems. It just does it. Hey, Nautical. Did he build a house in that log for me? Oh, thank you. I'm doing okay. A little bit tired, but that's just how my Mondays are. I think that's part of why I go with I'm full in with the so far with the Blender stuff on Mondays.
Get your sausage in that.
Hey, Crundle, how you doing? My workday starts around 11:30 usually, 10 to 11:30 Sunday night, and going on usually until about 5-6 in the morning on Monday morning. And thankfully we're on winter break here for the kiddo, but usually that gives me an hour or two nap before having to get up and start my kiddos homeschooling at 7, and then going from there, and then trying to keep the motivation to stream in the afternoons here. But actually, since it's summer break, well, not summer, winter break, I get to do a little bit of sleep-ins, though that's been kicking my ass in and of its own. Got the day off tomorrow for New Year's Eve. Nice. There seems to be plenty of people on fucking the internet like Twitter that you having that day off is blasphemy. You should be working 80-hour weeks, though I know you're not from America.
Dad, may I say hi?
Yeah, you can say hi.
I saw a police officer car and 2 aim paints last night.
Yeah. But Blender's sort of chill and relaxing. Not to say that Warframe's really intense and stuffs. Oh, fuck that, yeah. Yeah, don't go against that, otherwise you're racist. There's so many brainlets running about nowadays with CEOs and in their bio and stuff. A lot of them are tech bros supporting AI, thus, you know, something that steals from a lot of people that actually put in hard work. So, fuck 'em. It's like the craziest I saw was some guy suggesting that you could buy a new car, like a 25 sort of new car for 25K. You're really detached from fucking reality there. Lucky you can find a fucking used car for that much sometimes. At least at a dealership anyway. Plenty enough middle and lower class citizens that will sell by owner, and it's way less than the dealerships fucking do. But then you also have to worry about, okay, what's wrong with this vehicle? Is it due for inspection and an oil change, or does it need a new alternator and fucking transmission, you know? Is it one turnover from fucking catching on fire at a stoplight, you know? Yeah, if high interest accounts even fucking existed anymore unless you put in a large sum of money to begin with. Even part of the allure of what got me into the military, other than having something nice to put on my resume down the line, of VA home loans. Those are fucking nearly impossible to get now. I remember my brother, he was applying for a VA loan for getting a house. And he had to like work his credit all the way up to like 720 or something like that just to qualify. Like, he's a prison guard. He works for the state. He's got a good job. Why shouldn't he be approved since he already had decent credit to begin with? I think it's like the high 600s. And that's part of what like a lot of my generation at least was pulled in, like suckered into the military with. It's like, oh, you could eventually use a VA loan to go to college, and well, no, that's GI Bill. You can use the GI Bill to go to college, and you use a VA loan to get a house, and da 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 da. Yeah, I've actually been looking at getting a K truck, but then again, it's like those are made for Asian people, which are usually much shorter than I am. Though it does make me chuckle whenever I think of somebody like JP's height that's like fucking 4 inches taller than me, just cramming myself into a tiny ass K truck. And some clown car bullshit. Now my dad, who's actually shorter than I am, he would probably be fine in one of those. But then my stepmom, who is fucking 7'2", is a completely different story. She'd probably have to sit in the bed. Because I think those vehicles, their normal passenger compartment, like comfortably sits somebody that's like between 6'5" and 6'10", 6'11". I know 5'5" and 5'11". Oh hell yeah. I would rent a sumo costume and just like have you guys strap me onto the back. That way you can pull me up slightly so I can get to the intercom and be like, I'll take 4 number 5s. The silliness. Hey, you guys caught me in the middle of following along with a hair tutorial sort of thing. Right now, I'm curious about how he fixes this gap here. I'm thinking it uses it's going to use the geonode things that are included with the hair, but I forget if that was added in 3.0 or not, because that's what the tutorial is based on, 3.0, which the video is 2 years old. So there's been several advancements in Blender's hair systems and stuff. I usually like to learn things from the ground up instead of, oh, these are things that you can download for free from my Gumroad and stuff. It's appreciated that these people put in the effort to make these geonode trees, geonodes and other stuff. But I want to learn how to make the shit myself. That way, if something updates with Blender, I know how to go in and troubleshoot. So, as great as some of these hair tutorials are out there, like, which one of these that I've got so many tabs open with different things for hair and other things, well, Blender stuff in general. Eco, you're good, but I'm not gonna watch your stuff for this. This is one way I've been looking at making hair for my version 3 model. Because the particle system from Blender here can be popped over to Unreal Engine at least. I guess I don't have any actually open at the moment for it. But trust me, any of the newer-ish hair tutorials involving the particle system have a lot of shit where it's like, oh, you can check in the description and download these geonodes that I made for doing this tutorial, and you can follow along. It's like, okay, where's the video for how you made it to begin with? That's what I care about the most. Because part of how I learn stuff is just doing it over and over and over again. Which I think that's how a lot of people technically learn some things. Do the same shit over and over again. Maybe try a different way each and every time or every other time. and see which part like sticks, or else if you can use it for other things, instead of just constantly keeping with the same way of doing things. It sort of expands what you're capable of. And also, if any issues pop up, you can always be like, well, I know this way works, so I can do that for now, and I can come back and check this in the future for like what might be wrong. But either way, let's see here. So, up. Okay, that's that. Color ramp to control that? Yes. Okay, I sort of figured. See, this sort of things get sort of So what he does is move this down here. So I got a good spot. He calls in a color ramp and places it on this line. Of course, things get a bit blur sometimes. Do a reset. Got that, but as you move this up, it moves the transparency up. You guys can see here. So if I literally just like took this and used it for part of somebody's bangs or something, I have this all the way there. Then all I have to do is whenever I do another duplicate, just change the hair material that's on it so it's further down for where it's cut and stuff. Maybe about there. This controls how sharp it is. No, the tutorial I'm following is Lightning Boy Studio on YouTube, with the Arcane Style Tutorial Part 1 Hair. Blender 3.0/Eevee. As Lightning Boy Studio is definitely one of those channels I'd recommend to people that are not just starting Blender, but sort of getting between the beginner and intermediate area, probably, for some of the tutorials he has there. He's made his own game and stuff. Well, he's helped with making a game, at least with graphics and shit. So, he's got in the field experience to pull from. So I changed the spline. I just forget about now. Oh no, I switched to ease. How does he do here? I see some here. Just got that to ease. So that's up to about there. Then he's got another one in there. That's in between. A bit more. Okay. View for display. Show there. I should have turned that off. Hey, Miss Arrow, welcome Raiders. My name is Magellan, you can call me Mags. I do stuff in Blender, as you see now, and I also play games like Warframe and Darktide and a bunch of other shooty games that are basically PvE because I try to steer clear of PvP. Welcome. How everything go with the stream tonight? And hopefully you had a good weekend as well. Oh, you're still on Spell Brigade. You're really enjoying that game, huh? It's like that game. I definitely think of what is it? Vampire Survival or where the hell it is? Hey, mod. Oh, you get 100%. Oh, that's pretty damn cool. Smash the fuck out. Got you, mod. Yeah, I have to say, I appreciate whenever I see somebody enjoys a game enough that they're gonna 100% it, or at least try to. There are some of those achievements that are just grating upon the nerves out there. Always be lurking. Yeah, I know. I had you in here a little bit after a new came in. But I try not to call people out as I see them upon the list. I'd rather just let people chill and relax and lurks. Enjoy their times, you know? I'm working on the second. Oh, there's multiple maps too. Okay. I've only actually seen you play on the one map. That was it. So it was like, I didn't know if there was more progression to it. Don't watch you while you I'll watch you all I want. Always watching Wazowski. 3 maps. Okay. A bunch of names to put in here. That's one thing I sort of really liked ever since I switched over to mix it up. The sort of live watch on who's viewing me, well, who's in the chat at least. Let's see, I've got a few that we both knows, as well as actually one lurking over on the YouTube. So welcome, person who be lurking there. Hopefully you're enjoying your time. How about we compromise their mod? We'll hold hands while you watch Keenan sleep. Yeah, that too. Sort of figured you'd approve. That's still a pretty good joke there, though. I forget, was it you that was sleeping on the pool table in that one picture, or was that Ben? Do 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 do. There we go. Well, at least it wasn't a forever box. Hey, Scotty. Yeah, I already got you in there. Like glitter. Much the ooh. Well, at least I know this will turn off in the render itself. What happened in the tutorials whenever you turn off the show emitter, which is what this plane would be, is where all the hair is coming from. But if I remember, I put another one in here. Took that up to one. There we go. Okay, that's how you get the other end. Damn it, move. Oh no, now it's invisible because I made the base actually transparent. So when it comes down to alpha maps, white would be see-through parts, black would be the parts that you don't want to be see-through. If I remember right. Could always be vice versa, I'm not sure. Which case, if you mess that up, you always put in an invert node. Converter, where is it? Invert color. So much to do, so much to learn still. So this upcoming year, want to try to get version 3 of my model done, get shit into Unreal Engine, want to try to learn C, learn C++, and Unreal Engine's blueprint system a bit better. Depending on how those all play out, the extra stretch is learning Twitch's API, then possibly YouTube and other platforms, so that people have ways to interact with the virtual studio and Unreal Engine. Then, of course, there's always the brainstorming of what the fuck do I want to let people be able to do? Okay, so that's there, got that there. That's that. Looks like he's done with the materials. Yeah, Python's another one I need to learn. Because Python's that it's part of Blender's stuff. Actually says right there, Python Interactive Console 3.11.9. There are many things you can do and change with Blender, just knowing enough about Python. Thank you for the hydrate. Yeah. Then in part I want to learn Python so I can fuck with AI bros. Since most AI things are built upon Python. What better way to learn to poison the well than the techniques they use to make the well? Do 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 do. They bring in diffuse. Where are they gonna mix it at though? Let's see. Okay, it's bringing a bunch of frames, but I don't get why. Okay, so it groups those up as noise. Going too fast sometimes. I'm decent with typing. I mean, that's part of what got me the job is at working at the call center for the company that I currently work for. And then eventually moved on to doing other things for the company instead of just call center. But part of what I take issue with is when I came into the call center there, I was the only dude that worked there in the call center. There were 12 employees there from what I recall at the time. So, one dude and 12 ladies. And throughout the time that I was in the call center, we had several more ladies coming in. Sort of like, well, more like girls because they just, it is like a rotating door. They'd come in, stay for like a month or two, and then they'd fucking disappear or they'd quit. Or get fired. But every one of them that came in, like, I never seen them have to take the same fucking typing test that I had to take whenever I joined. Like, it even says on the application that my boss had up on, I think it was Indeed, that you had to be able to type at least 80 words per minute with, I think it was above 70% he wanted for accuracy. I blew that the fuck out of the water because I've always been able to type between 90 to 110, depends on how drunk I was. Well, whenever I'm following us, like, looking at something, I can look at a screen and type away. I don't need to look at the keyboard at all. You just see how shit is whenever I'm doing, like, my coding and stuff for work and pulling reports. It's like, I've been doing the reports for 3, maybe 4 years now. So most of it I remember is, select, I think it's 7 different categories from database 1, where location is, well, location in parentheses, site numbers, close parentheses, and incoming is between dates underscore sub, parentheses, current date, parentheses, open close, comma, interval 7-day, close parentheses, and timeout, same shit, but followed up by or timeout is null. Order by the categories from the beginning in a specific order, so it's easier for me to go through. Well, that's what I was put up against. Fucking get the job, and he was like constantly emphasizing on multitasking wherever doing the interviews. Like, yeah, I can down a shot and scratch my ass at the same time. That's pretty intense multitasking. God. It was almost like he was afraid to hire me until he saw what I was actually capable of. But then he's just constantly bringing in this like rotating door again. Like I said, it's like a rotating door sort of place. It's like I eventually got disheartened in the idea because I was training a lot of these fucking people, because eventually I became one of 3 people that were there the longest in the call center. And one of them really sucked at training people. And the other one, she was okay at training people, but she has a physical disability where she would have to go away for a little bit each day during the shift to just sort of like cool down. She was actually like physically in a wheelchair and stuff, sort of disability, not some mental disabilities. Is a fucking just staying in the position that she had to stay for the call center just would push her some days. But training people like would really get to her sometimes because of the angle that she had to fucking like lean over in her wheelchair and shit just to like type in something to show her show the newbie how to do stuff. Fucked with her pretty bad, it seemed. But thankfully she eventually got to actually do work from home, so I'm happy that they eventually did that for her, but it took COVID happening for them to do it. But yeah, I hated eventually having to train these people constantly just to know that, you know, maybe a week, maybe 3 months from now, they're not going to be there anymore. They're going to fucking go somewhere else, or else they're going to quit or just get fired for some stupid reason or another. Then eventually the boss man made the fucking big mistake of not consulting myself or those 2 other people that had been there longest about possible supervisor positions for the place, and gave it to some lady that we ended up finding out the same week that she was brought in that she was actually on probation awaiting trial for stealing almost $100,000 from another company. Like, nah, I don't want to. It's one thing to be under somebody that's new. It's another thing to be under somebody that's new and a thief. Which she ended up going to jail for eventually, because they did come to the office and picked her up in the middle of the fucking work shift. So yeah, whenever I found out about that, because my boss man was trying to get me to come back in to work in the office for a call center at one point. And I was like, is so-and-so still working there as supervisor? He's like, oh no, they picked her up one day because she failed to make a payment on her bond, and then she was found guilty in trial afterwards. I'm like, oh, that was a great choice you did there, boss man. He just sort of shut the fuck up about the whole topic, didn't bother asking me to come in to work call centers until like a year or so later. I was like, no, I've been doing this for you for several years and you barely give me any fucking raises or anything. The last raise I got, there was like 2 years between the previous raise and that one. And it was like, I'm working for less than fucking burger flippers in the area, man. I don't give a fuck what you say. There you go. if I trusted the school systems more, I probably would take the leap of faith and get my kid back into public schooling instead of doing homeschooling, so I could potentially find a better paying job, and know what hours he's there, and I don't have to worry about being home all the fucking time to take care of him. Like, honestly, a lot of stuff I do rotates around my kiddo. I don't stream earlier because, you know, I'm just trying to center on being a good dad and trying to teach him things that I can, and also keeping with the school's plans for how well their not criteria. Oh, what the hell's that called again? Used to get these at the beginning, like each and every school year, and I can't fucking remember the name of it. Not an addendum. It's like right on the tip of my tongue. I just can't think of what the hell it is. Syllabus. I try to keep with the school's like syllabus for, you know, this is what the year is supposed to hold and what my kid is supposed to learn, and then these are the lessons that it's chopped up into. You know, like honestly, if I wasn't doing that, I'd probably be streaming 5 to 7 days out of the week whenever I'm not working. Other than that, it's like I know if things didn't go as they did with my kiddo finally coming along, I already had plans to like get the fuck out of the US and go to another country just to try like just sort of give up on relationships in the US altogether, which I currently am right now anyway. Too much shit to worry about in everyday life to attempt to bring somebody in as a last attempt, like sort of was horrible. Alarm to remind me of something. Okay, where are you at? Okay, whatever that works. Okay, so back with what we were doing. Yeah, that's transparency. F2 that label. Better man, ain't no place for no hero. Come home. Gradient, use. Alright, I already understand that this is the gradient, but we'll do as he does just so that we can keep things sort of along. And he brings in a diffuse BSDF, gives that its own thing, labels it. Diffuse is just a color, so gradient's adding color as well. least whenever you bake something, diffuse its color. It puts in another mix, makes the diffuse, and connects it to where? To the, that gets a shader to RGB, then it's applied to the factor. Okay, so when it goes down is he makes a copy of that, puts that there, and he does, where is it, converter, shader to RGB, goes in, gets connected to here, here, and goes into the factor. Damn it. Goes into the factor, this goes into A. Gotta wait for it to render here. There we go. Both are mix. Okay. This guy's got a lot. The only thing, like I was saying, I recommend this for beginner to mid people for learning, because he does some big cuts here or there. Alright, so he switches this to there and takes this to black. Oh, let's get goobered up with the movements. That's actually some pretty decent looking hill. That's a bit goofy right there. But the dead-on look is sort of decent. And some off to the side as well. Yeah. This shadow moving over it. Right round. Go down when you go down. Color ramp. White back over that way. So up here, converter, color ramp, pick it in box, and actually managed to get caught in there. That's nice. Does make it pop out a little bit more. What he did was he ended up duplicating. Interesting. Alright, so now he explains. Well, I don't have any audio going right now. Because sometimes the subtitles are off too, because sometimes subtitles actually get in the way of some of the stuff on the screen for Blender. So I'll usually just watch these and have the tutorial on one side, and then have the on one screen, then have Blender on the other. But since I've got stream stuff on my other monitor at the moment, rather make sure to keep up with you guys than just poking about. Let's see, so that's how the normals are going right now. He's talking about how the normals are and stuffs, which can affect how this stuff looks whenever, especially whenever the lighting is put on it. Okay, so he goes back there. Here, info node, what about it? Tangent normals. Hi, I totally didn't pick green for this hair for particular reasons. Thanks for the hydrate. Fish. Hair. Just something I think I sent you the video before, well, linked you the video before about the arcane hair stuffs. Like this is sorta... No, wrong one. Particle edit. Is that there? Object mode. Then this one, I want to see if I can do. Actually, zero all those. Oh wait, no. One all those out. Saturations while I went down. Yeah, I know Annie. And thank you very much for popping in, even if it is with a raid. Give you a shout out there's. Yeah. Oh, Annie, I don't know if you use Mix It Up, but Mix It Up has the chat thing that shows your viewers. Too late. I'm gonna have to find that clip and swipe the audio from it. Hey, nothing, no shame in enjoying the musics. So I make this one that color, but make it a little bit darker. This one, I probably actually want to see if changing the curve changes on all of them. Damn it! If I happen to be doing like an Alma hair, I'd probably want to do some with this. I don't do stuff for Alma because she's mean. No problem at all, Annie. Where is it? It's learning. No. Sorry, just going through my files right now. Where did it go? Oh, I have to find it at some point. But then again, when it comes down to this sort of stuff, probably would want to. It's sort of just starting off stuff that I'm sort of doing here is some of the stuff that I've learned from looking at this shiz of late is if it comes down to something that'd probably be thrown into VC face, I'm probably gonna go with hair cards, which essentially you can make with these right here, where you do particle system. Then a lot of people will set up a grid sort of thing where one would be the base hair, that'd be the thickest and darkest hair, and then you'd have primaries, and then secondary and tertiary hairs, and then also strands here or there that you would add in as hair cards. It reduces the poly count, and it would work with VC face and like send me something. You need to send me what your hair would look like at some point. Hey, Dino. This is Blender. It's a 3D 3D modeling software. Though you can do more than just 3D modeling with it. Yeah, that's my cousin. Well, one of my one of my cousins. Oh yeah, I sort of figured with that stretch goal, Alma. I took note of it whenever you're putting everything together. Also part of why I've been more so interested in learning hair stuff, so other than just my own shit. Thinking of how to do your style, since your hair isn't just one solid color like many others. Oh yeah, Blender has changed a bit over the last couple years with the overall user interface and the UI. Well, that's what user interface is. The UI and the just the look of the program in general. So like even in the last 3 months, maybe, if you find a tutorial for anything related to geonodes or hair stuff, you might be a bit hard struck for following those tutorials along, because they did a recent change to some of the geonode stuff in Blender. So yay. But I do this every Monday. I'll do stuffs in Blender, then maybe jump over to Warframe depending on how tired I am and shits. Whenever I'm doing it by myself, but usually I'm joined by Coral's Hollow, who she does a lot of traditional art, but she also has asked me to teach her about using Blender. Alright. Well, yeah, I mean, you're looking at doing VTubing or else just making a game, I'd definitely recommend Blender since it's free. There are other programs out there, as you probably know, like Maya and shit, but I like to go with the free stuff, and I don't like to, not exactly scam the system, but I don't like lying and saying that I'm a student. Yes, I am learning the stuff, but what? Do I want to pay to fucking use this program after I no longer consider myself in the learning process? No. So. So yeah, Blender's open source and free, so why not? And the only time Blender costs anything really is if you decide to pay for add-ons from that other people have made. In which case, most of the time, you can just find a tutorial of how to do it yourself for free. It's okay, Annie. But yeah, I've succeeded in a few things. Always think of that. I mean, hell, this comparison between like yourself and me. I've been streaming way longer than you, but when it comes down to locomotion of model, is your model actually moves around a bit more than mine. So there is that. If I remember right, you have a whole jury-rigged setup of a way to capture your hand movement. So there's more effort than I've put in so far. But then again, I am sort of holding out until income tax returns here to possibly get a mocap suit. Yeah, that one. I forget if it was Crundle or Cass that told me about it. But hey, if it works, it works. And like I said, you got more locomotion than my model has. For now, anyway. As you can see, I sort of keep myself occupied with other projects, even though I have long-term goals I'm still working on. This is one thing I like about the hair stuffs. Actually having the sort of depth there. You can see the shadow from the other bit of hair put in there. Let's see. Okay, so it's not stretching. That's good. Okay. One thing I've been concerned about. Leap motion is okay. I've known a few people that have used leap motion. As I said, I'm looking at getting a mocap setup, which will be full body. Head, arms, legs, hands. Yeah, well, deep motion was like a huge thing back 2 years ago. Angle I'm at. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of different things that can affect the deep motion shit. I think that's part of why I've skipped over and just want to go for actual mocap stuff. Is I don't have to worry if my hands are in a specific area or if my arms in a specific area. If the sensors are on my body, then I go like scratch my ass or wave hi to somebody that's just coming into chat. You know, it'll be picked up. Too close to the wall. I think that's one thing that some content creators and streamers out there ended up completely failing to mention whenever it comes into the whole this is what you do to start streaming stuffs. They don't take into account the fact that not everybody has an entire room that they could use for streaming and only streaming. A lot have like a couch in there, or for me, for example, is my fucking living room. So back whenever I did face camming, you would see my kiddo all the time, and sometimes I'd see chat telling people that bothered to come and see me at the time, be like, he's climbing on the couch again, and I look at the webcam and there'd be my kiddo up climbing on the couch and trying to look out the peephole or something. Full piano. Taking over the corner. Well, hey. Gotta have a place to do what you enjoy. That's why, like, first example come to mind for me is like dudes that have like hobby sheds or else man caves. So I personally think everybody just would like to have something like that. Doesn't matter if they're male or female. It's just a place that you can have the stuff that you like to do but it's not something you can do like 24/7 because you got work or other obligations. Love shack. Yeah, see? Yeah, they're right there. I bet if you could get a little shack that you could sit comfortably in with a PC and everything. Maybe have it soundproofed, since I know you like your music stuffs a lot, and you just have music blaring in there while streaming and shit. You probably love it completely. Also heating if you happen to be somewhere that it gets cold as hell. Well, heating and cooling for either or. But that ends up comes down to like, can I even afford to have a house with property to it? Doesn't matter if it's a fucking apartment or a duplex or anything that could accommodate having any sort of yard. But you also have to worry about neighbors fucking with stuff and things like that, or else people that share the unit with you fucking with stuff. Just feels like people that were born in the early 80s onward have been just really fucked over on getting a place to truly call home. And it takes way too much planning just to figure it out than it should.
Okay.
It's like if I hit the fucking Powerball or something like that and end up having a couple $1 million after the IRS took 3/4 of it, I would probably definitely look at getting a nice little house and maybe helping out family and friends with accomplishing the same basic goal that is still, I think, part of the American dream. With you, could use some assistance. Okay, usually Wednesdays and Thursdays I do Warframe on stream, but the rest of the week I just jump in there and do my standings and then pop back out unless I'm grinding something specifically. And hello, Bias. Nice to see you again. But yeah, you said something about like you were lost on something with the text that you sent. Well, I'm waiting for you to explain that. Let's see here. So it connects that to the upper one for the tangent norm. How's that change on this one? It does make it look a little bit smoother. Hi, Buckus. Right now I'm sort of following a tutorial that I've watched before, but not watched and done stuff along with a whole lot. I figured that'd be a good thing to do for the stream, because going forward in the upcoming year, I want to have a firmer grasp on hair related stuff between Blender and Unreal Engine, as well as shit that could be used between Blender and Unity, because for VTubing, for 3D models, usually you have to take it from Blender to Unity to turn it into VRM and fix the bones and everything for the armature before you throw it into something like VC Face, which is the program I use for mine, or if you use it in a VR chat. First you have to take it from Blender to Unity and then to VR chat. It's crafting. Let's go. Got Dice, Inara's Prime, and one with a. She's a bow you can try. Yeah, Avara. Yeah, if you're looking for any help with building, honestly, usually I check with Overframe, OVERFRAME.GG. Oh boy. I didn't do Creo specifically, but I am a CAD designer according to my job title. Yeah, Warframe Flow is another good one on YouTube, but as I've said in the past, is I don't care too much for a lot of the Warframe content creators, as most of them just sort of pay for getting their views. Studies, so you're still doing schooling then? Okay. Yeah, Dino is that's the site that I'll go to, and then I'll look at the listings and see which ones not only have the most votes, but which ones are like closer to the current patch, which is 38.0, I think now. Aerospace engineering, neat. Prime short-footed. I never use fucking prime short-footed, or just short-footed for that matter. So I want to make sure I'm not getting knocked on my ass. I'll play Rhino. I never intend to touch AI other than fuck with it in the future for poison. Oneru. Is that one of the dogs? One of the Kubro? That's pretty much just learning Python. Oh, okay. Is that the one with the two pyramid? Well, with the pyramid? I always forget the focus schools. I do know I have one of them maxed out because I can represent them, but then I looked at that and I saw just like more grinding bullshit. Yeah, I don't think I've grinded out that one too much. I think I'm working on Mudarai right now. Immunity on knock. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Which one's the one that's more melee based? Is that Mudarai? Naramon? Okay, Naramon's more melee based. And then there's that one that the two ends up creating the energy zone where you regenerate energy faster. And big DPS with amps and frames. Well, considering I have been doing, yeah, Zenuric. Zenuric's actually the one that I have maxed out right now that I can do the representation stuffs on. I'm just slowly trying to get them all maxed out. I think I've got all but 2 or 3 of them. They're passives that like go across all of them. Unlocked where you have to use the Brilliant Eidolon Shard or whatever it is. I'll have it. Yeah, well, I've been playing forever, so I've got a shitload of different mods. Though there are still some that I still need to farm up, like the Corrupted Vaults. Not the ones that are on Deimos, if I remember right. Just the ones that can appear in... what was it? The Derelict Oricon ships. That tile set where you have to have the dragon keys. I'm still missing some of those stupid things. Unless they switched it over to those are on Deimos now. I don't know. Serenade Bill. Actually, I am sort of surprised that so many people, it seems, still don't have a lot of Stalker's drops. Oh, they're on Deimos now? Okay. I haven't done a whole lot in Deimos ever since I came back. I've popped over there once or twice, but that was mainly to work on the Cadia, or where the heck that one faction is, with Lloyd and the animal. Yeah, the animals, yeah. Cavia, yeah, there. Yeah, I still need work on that group too. It's just Kitty broke before the guards did. Yeah. My version 1 model was very, very obviously modeled after the Death Core of Krieg. This one I wanted to like sort of be a bit more away from that, in part to just completely avoid copyright issue shit. But the Death Core of Krieg will always be like a favorite of mine. Oh, which one's your Stardust Legion? I like the Iron Warriors are badass. I was almost gonna say salamanders, but no. Salamanders would protect civilians, but I think Kriegsmen would just continue bombarding shit. That's the thing. I know some of the Astartes Legions monikers, their names and stuff, but I don't know which number they are. Like, you at least know the number. Your power animal. Oh, what the hell is that one meme character? Corbo? Is it Corbo the Commando? Marbo, yeah, Sly Marbo. Jungle Fighter, yeah. There's him. I love him. I can never remember the commissar's name. There's that one commissar that even the orcs really like. He has one of the laser eyes, and he replaced one of his arms with one of the orcs' claws. Yarick? Yeah, that sounds familiar. I don't remember Cyphus Kane, but Yarick, that sounds familiar. If I remember right, isn't it something in the lore that he was possibly killed, and the war chief, the Wa chief that always fought with him, got super pissed off about it? Yeah, that's right. Oh boy. Oh boy. I think that's like one thing I appreciate about orcs is if you're a great fight, they love you. Just so much shit in the 40k lore to like just even try to remember. Like what was it? The Imperium tried funneling the orcs to the Tyranid front, and they just spent so much time fighting with each other that it essentially made super orcs and super Tyranids. So that shit show's gonna eventually come out. Necrons, they're interesting. What's his name? The Infinite. Something. What? I'm horrible with some of these names. Like, I'm drawing a blank. Something to Infinite. The one that's the Mr. Steelio shit. Where he just loves collecting everything. Trashy the Incontinent. Yeah, Trez in the Infinite. First time I heard of him was because of that meme with him just like stealing everything. Almost as bad as the what are they, Blood Angels that love to requisition artifacts constantly. Yeah. I forget who the hell the Necrons are even heavily against. I remember like their whole origin with the gods and stuff. Everyone? Alright. Are they still trying to figure a way to get back to their... to being, actually organic? Or are they just saying, like, fuck that, and they're just keeping with the whole sort of immortal Skelly boys? It's been a very long time since I've actually looked into, like, gotten into the lore and, like, caught up on everything just because of how Games Workshop just been handling shit, especially ever since the whole Femme Custode thing. Which game was it that I have that... Dawn of War? I think it was the one that I played against... I played it... Yeah, Dark Crusade. I had to look at my Steam stuff for a little bit. Something about making them biogun, I don't know the rest. They just grew in tombs. Yeah. I haven't played Inquisitor for a long time. Same for Gladius. Or just the Warhammer games themselves, like Vermintide and Vermintide 2, Darktide. Old Gun was okay. I think I played that like a year ago. No, January 2nd was when I last played that. Jesus. I haven't touched Dawn of War since 2015. Mechanicus. Is that this... Was that made by the same people that made Inquisitor, I think? Excuse me. I remember hearing about Mechanicus. Core games. Taking a bit of a sidetrack to actually look this stuff up instead of just trying off the top of my head because I'm getting pretty tired here. No, somebody else. Hey, Bacon. Bulwark, okay. So, how did things go with, what was that? Climbing, I think it was called? But it was just getting over it in VR. I was there, just a lurking a durkin. Yeah, it was Neocore. I remember you tried switching the controllers just to see if that worked too. Okay, let's get this back on here. So you connected the tangent normals. Shadows. Wait, where was that at? Orange shadows. Guessing that's another one that's just auto done. Need to try that. Yeah, bias. This Blender. Messing around with the hair particle system, as well as following along with the tutorial. So, tutorial itself is a 28-minute long video, and here I've been going about 2 hours and 22 minutes just bullshitting, going back and forth between that, following what the hell he's doing, tweaking things here and there, also checking the differences between Blender 3.0, which is what this tutorial's in, and Blender 4.3.2. Well, it's good that there are alternate controls that you could try using. Okay, it's messing with the lighting. So this was lighting stuff, which we already pretty much got set up. Yeah. I've got like a whole... Well, I got 3 playlists, I think, on YouTube just loaded down with music. This current one is 89 different songs. I think I've got another one that's got close to 240 or 230 songs on it. And then some other one, I forget what the hell's on that one. And I'll alternate between them for whenever I'm streaming, just so it's not always the same music playing. But yeah, I could say Blender can be a bit tough at first, just getting used to everything, especially picking up like shortcut keys and to try to expedite your workflow and sort of get used to the things. But after a month or two of just doing stuff, you at least will get the basics down so that you'll know how to make very simple objects. But as you want to make more and more complicated things, or else make things look more realistic, or get into your own sort of groove of doing shit, you're gonna have to look up a tutorial on how to do this or how to do that. Just like with coding and stuff, so like anytime somebody says that coding is easy or hard, is like, yeah, it can be easy, but I'll never ever probably run into anybody that knows every single syntax out there for a specific language. So they don't always have it memorized as like that they could do their job without having some way to look up what syntax is for used for this situation and stuff. Like how whenever I make coding, I almost always have a syntax list pulled up just so I can try different things. Like I said with earlier in the stream, a lot of what I feel is getting better at Blender at least is start doing stuff then try to hone things down to stuff that you want to do specifically, and then build from there. So whenever I first got into Blender, I had two sort of goals. One, make my own models for a 3D environment like VTubing or Unreal Engine or Unity at the time anyway. And then the other long-term goal was to use it for shit posting on the internet, because why not? Might as well go full tilt. So every once in a blue moon I'll fire up Blender for shit posting, but not too frequently, because I still feel like I've got lots I want to learn, like this hair stuff. This with the particle system. What's used a lot for video games though is hair cards, where I would just bring in a plane and then we'll say this sphere is the head. I would take the plane and I'd move it around to be the top of the head. Then put some cuts in there. Select get rid of that one. Put in proportional editing. This is just very, very like sort of sloppy way of doing it, but it's an example. But you sort of have bring the planes in here, and you would shape the big parts of the hair, and then from there you would go maybe add like a subdiv to make it a bit smoother, and then you would take a down here you'd end up having your material, and you'd use a image texture, which would use hair cards, which essentially you can get from these. If I wanted to use this for a hair card, for example, I would I keep forgetting I have it on the Y. I could bring in a camera, set it to this, change the resolution a little bit. And try to center this out. Always such a pain in the ass trying to get this stuff square boxed. Well, rectangular. I basically want to try to cut it down to just here, this area, for the for taking the render of it, and make sure that it had a transparent background on, which I'd go down to film, hit transparent. So this would be my solid piece, and then this would end up becoming a texture that would go on this to make it look like hair. Then you'd also have to deal with things like normal map, ambient occlusion maps, shit like that. Rigging stuff? No, not really. I mean, there is literally an add-on. You go into Edit at the top here, Preferences. You might have to go to Get Extensions, but it's used to be like prepackaged with Blender. It might still be. I have it downloaded already and stuff, so I can't tell you right off the bat. It says built in, so it might be a normal feature. But it's called Rigify, R-I-G-I-F-Y. And whenever you add that, turn that add-on on, you hit Shift-A to pull up this menu, Armature, and then you add in a single bone where you build the skeleton from one bone up, which a lot of people will do. Or else you can bring in like a simple human one, which don't need these anymore since I sort of did my example. But as you can see, it's got like feet and shins, thighs, hip bones, a spine going up to the neck. A lot of times you don't really need this many facial bones, but you could always use them if you wanted to. The eye bones that are here like this, that like they're pointing outward, like you'd have an eyeball here. You can also have like a plane that would be at the end. And then one thing that people will do for whenever they're making animations in Blender for rigging, like looking where the eyes are looking, is you'd have another bone out here that would be like the sort of focus of where the eyes are looking, and it'd be paired. I think it's IK would be what it'd be set as. That will move it around. I don't feel like saving this, but I don't want to lose all the progress that I've done with fucking with this stuff at the moment. I got an idea how this stuff is now. The biggest thing, actually I will just save this for future use here, asset folder. This is one that I made a while back. I just need to find it here, just give me a second. That's the problem, as time goes on you get so many damn files. I'll make sure I'm... Okay, so... This is one that I made following a tutorial on YouTube. So made it from scratch with blocking out, then sculpting, then retopologizing, then setting up the rig and all that. And then if I go into pose mode here, this one, I can use this to change where the eyes are looking. Another thing you can always do is like change all the stuffs. And this is some IK controls right here, so that the whole arm moves and elbow bends and stuff. Got one down here for the leg. But the one thing I gotta point out is like, see how the ass is getting all goofy here? It's sort of hard to see. You see it, how it's like messing up the ass right there? The thing to like fix this is you'd have to go in and pick one of the bones that's near where the hips are and put in a driver so that as the leg is coming up, once it gets to a certain point where you see a deformation starting to happen where the cheek, like right about here, it'd probably be where it'd be, where the cheek isn't staying where it should be and it's starting to like move along with the rest of the mesh. I'd have to put in a driver that made it so that it would push the mesh from the thigh probably up to that way so that the ass actually stays in place. But if it has clothes on and stuff, or a jacket or anything like that that would cover that area, there's no point in being exceptionally worried about how it looks, because if it's covered up, nobody's gonna see it. If it's not part of the shot, again, people aren't gonna see it. Like there's this, the neat thing about Blender shit is whenever they put out a major update on their webpage, blender.org, you can usually go there and watch the video that sort of like introduces some of the new stuff that's coming out, and most of the time they'll have a animator from the community or somebody in the community make a video to showcase this stuff, and you'll see like, and then they'll actually give you the ability to download the blend file to look at all the rigging and all other stuff, or the topology. You can get an idea of how the topology is supposed to be and such. And like this okay-ish topology, I at least think is good. There's some people that probably look at this and like cringe, but you know, I'm not a professional animator or modeler. I'm doing this for fun and for shit posting down here or there. But one of them is this girl making something in the kitchen, and whenever the model comes sliding up, it's behind a counter, and you see like from this part up of the character. So to cut back on how much has to be processed by the computers and stuff, you can just get rid of the legs because people will never see the legs. Hi Blue, hi Grizz. Yeah, that's just a base model. Looks like it was possibly pushed out. Yeah. Open, don't save. There we go. And this is a complete model that after this point was done. It's going to take a little bit to load up because there's a lot there. Oh, is little squirrel sick again? Fucking weather. I actually got a layout mode that probably looks a little bit better. Rendering. Yeah, it's not that bad. But yeah, this I made from scratch following a tutorial. Took a bit, but I was pretty happy with it. As you can tell, same base is what I just showed you, bias. So. And most all these materials for the clothing and stuff were just basic shaders. This was actually done with a, I'll just select a cloak and go into the shading. This was done with, just in Blender, using a, image texture that I UV unwrapped and went to a mix shader. We're using a factor from the alpha, and then the color from the image, and I literally just painted this on myself. But yeah, this took some time to make, but I think it turned out pretty good. And it's become obviously a base for that I could use for other things. Which this was actually the base that I used for making Plum's 3D model that she showcased like once, until she actually fixes the lip tracking. Thanks for the hydrate. Now, I will say ahead of time for anybody that's considering getting into Blender but wants to like follow tutorials and stuff and get used to it themselves, like how I did, you'll find it extremely bothersome to try to find a male model that they're making. A lot of times it's female models that people like to make for tutorials because it gets the attention. But yeah, I'm slowly learning how to do more of this stuff, and this also ends up being a good base I could use for other things. Like if I wanted to practice using the grooming system, I could literally just copy like these right here and delete those, and then select all the remainders and get rid of those, and then take the head and use that for doing whatever I need to do. Of course, I get rid of that too, so it's all even. But I know it's got good enough topology that I can use it for making something for use with the VC Face or Unreal Engine or Unity. I haven't touched Godit, so that's why I don't talk about it that often. But with this, I'd be able to take the top off, well, take these top verts here and use them for, well, faces more so, for making a cap. I don't want to get the ear by accident. Probably right about there. Go right down to there. You gotta be sort of careful with some of the selection. But then I'd like to select these right here. Oh, damn. I accidentally got the one all the way at the front here. That's probably whenever you're selecting stuff in X-ray mode. Always keep that in mind whenever you're selecting stuff in X-ray mode. Don't accidentally select through the mesh. And probably select that. Get all the way across here. Then do the same for this side. Then I'd like Shift D and duplicate it. P to separate selection. Go to object mode, collect that, go back to object mode to edit mode, and do what I needed to do with this. So if I was going to use this for a cap for a particle system for hair, I would add it to this. And then boop, hair. Actually, I shouldn't be in edit mode, it should be there. Woo! Look at that bad hair day. Don't need 4 meter long hair. 1 meter is even still longer. Well, no, that's, yeah. Yeah, I'd recommend it. And then, like I said, Mondays I'm gonna be doing blenders, so. Bonnet's a bit. But this is the hair particle system. Problem is, this won't translate over to other things that much. As far as I know, only other program that I could take this over to right now, and whatever I do with the grooming, which there's a whole hair grooming system where I can go in here and comb it back and all the other stuffs, is Unreal Engine. That's the only other one that I know of right now that I've heard about, that I could do this in Blender, and then whatever it looks like in Blender and I take it over to Unreal, it will look like that. It's beautiful. Hey, JP. No passing on that slanderousness. This is. No, it's not. Lies and pies and chicken fries. Now, this is how it looks like that. I'd have to add more lighting in and maybe add actual color to the hair, which I could do. Boop, new. It's something. Mama's all the badass when she's not dying from little coughs like this. Oh, congrats. Gold 3, that's pretty good. I don't mind watching people play that game, but I'm most likely never going to touch it. But yeah, so one thing also that I gotta point out, when it comes down to using the cap here also, I could always go in and again go to the side. Yeah, well, it's a good accomplishment. You've done things. Let's say the back right here will be the hair that I want to have for that point. So I'd have to go in here. Like, we got a bunch of vertex groups from the rig. I go in here, make a new group, say back hair, and then I go back to the particle system, go to hair not hair shape, is it Render. Alright, delete edit first. Because sometimes having that edit in there screws stuff up. Vertex groups. Density. Hair. Go back to there. Did it actually do it? No, I think it didn't. There we go. But now we're going to go back to there. I put it on the wrong thing. Oh, I didn't even assign. Select, deselect, select. Okay, that's good. And now it's just in the back part. So if I want just long hair in the back, I can have it there. Then have shorter hair in the front. That would, I could part it into left side and right side, with this being the midpoint. Yeah, yay, Zoom calls. Always nice catching up with peoples. But yeah, I'd go into here, I'd probably go into texture. We know the large bit of this is here, so let's just jack up the strength so we can pull it all back.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Dad.
Mm.
Are there some more curryos and meatballs in the kitchen?
Yeah, you can have more.
Okay. I'll cook it in my board.
And of course we don't want this that bad. I got that there. Of course it looks like that because I'm in that mode. That would be that. Seeing that like right there. I'm wondering if that's the segments or something else causing that. That'd be the long hair in the back, and then do part for the sides. Do another part for this side, part for the bangs. Be almost like segmenting real hair. Like how would you style this hair in real life is what you got to look sort of think about whenever you're doing the particle system. With doing hair cards, it's sort of taking that concept but turning into sort of shaping it using planes. So most likely this cap won't even be used. You would just get planes brought in, put them in there in the style, and then use hair cards to texture those planes to look like hair. And a lot of games do that, as it reduces poly count. But sort of problem with that is then you are sort of losing your the effects that can come about from the particle system interacting with other things like wind or gravity. So the particle system can work with simulations, if I remember right, but hair cards is a bit different. I think that'd be a soft body simulation thing, but it's sort of like lots of tweaking to get it to look right, so your hair's not like blah all over the place. Alright, let's see who's live. Natural. I don't think I've gotten him at all.
I not like one of them, so.
Nope, I haven't gotten him at all this month. Potentially last raid of the year. Unless I stream again tomorrow night. we're gonna be raiding Gator Gusto. Everybody just calls him Gator. He is a Floridian Gator Vtuber dude. Pretty cool. I think I've known him a little bit less time than I've known Alma, but that's sort of like comparison for how long I've been bothering this fella. Good song? Yay. My kiddo likes this one. But whenever you get in there, make sure to drop him a follow so you can redeem the Bailiff Wackus PP redeem. We've got the raid message here. For those that are subscribed, you can use the first one. For those that aren't subscribed, you can use the second one. For those using the second one, you can use the global emotes, your own emotes, somebody else's emotes, or even a taco if you have one. Aside from that, if I don't see you guys on tomorrow, I'll see you on Wednesday. I hope you have a safe and happy New Year's, if that's the case. If not, I'll probably announce on Twitter and on Discord like usual for whenever I go live. Aside from that, next stream is going to be Warframe, so probably grinding standings and farming up weapons and stuffs. But yeah, you guys all have a good day, night, tacos and burritos. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.